Let's talk about villains. Villains come in all shapes and sizes, like this one or this one. This one's genuinely terrifying. And then there's this one. But none of these are the villain I'm talking about. I'm talking about the worst, unrelenting, maniacal, sinister writer's villain, procrastination. What makes this villain potentially the most scary is how innocent it sounds, but absolutely how devastating it can be. Because procrastination isn't a conventional villain who shows up at the sidewalk in front of your house and utters threats at you and your dog, and then jumps over the edges. No. Procrastination takes your time. Now, at first, that doesn't sound so bad, but allow me to explain. See, time is the universal constant. It doesn't care if you have money or talent, wear socks or sandals, or put olives on pizza, you weirdo. Nope. Everyone gets the same hours and seconds in a day. And as soon as that time is gone, it's gone. In general, losing time is kind of a disaster just about for anyone. And especially, though, for writers. And here's why. Writing a book, a white paper, a thesis, a short story, whatever you're currently focused on, it's kind of like getting into a boat and pushing yourself into an ocean with a general idea of where you want to arrive. And then every day you make yourself paddle, which is kind of the hard work, to that destination by writing. It's not an easy thing to do. It takes time. But the more steadily you can make progress across the ocean, the better chance you have of arriving at your goal and squeezing every second you have of its precious value. But our villain, procrastination, has entirely different plans for you. See, paddling every day takes motivation and saying no to temptation. Temptation to do other stuff that's a little easier and less challenging, but will still consume your time. The issue is that the longer you sit in the ocean without being able to see your goal, the more you'll battle for motivation and the more appealing that other stuff looks like. And so one day you might say to yourself, I'm going to relax in the sun. I've earned it. I'm going to do some fishing instead of paddling. Who always wants to keep paddling? You, my friend, are now a victim of your greatest villain. That's right. Not only did you not make any progress, but you've lost time. And now you're kind of drifting. And the thing is that tomorrow's battle for motivation doesn't get any easier. Doesn't rejuvenate. No. It's just going to be just as hard, if not a little bit harder. And that's because the more you give into procrastination, the stronger its grip becomes by demotivating you to do the hard stuff, which is at the end of the day, it's the writing and the paddling. Let's be honest here. And as you give into that, procrastination, that villain, you completely drift off course of where you want to arrive. And then who knows where you'll actually arrive. And maybe you won't even arrive at all at your goal, which is kind of terrifying. I found an interesting stat which sounds like it has some truth to it. So I'm going to use it here. And that is that there are over 3 million shipwrecks in the ocean. What I always wonder, though, is not about the shipwrecks, but of how many abandoned pieces of writing, which could have been the next great stories, pieces of research, or inspiring blogs that now lay at the bottom of our so-called ocean. And in those cases, the writings that we're talking about and the writings that you're doing aren't victims of like freak waves or bad waves or massive storms or nautical errors. They're victims of writers' greatest villain. So next time you feel your motivation start to wane, you start to think, oh, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty relaxing. Have a look at this image of a shipwreck and then keep on paddling.